Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 1313 podcast, the most mediocre podcast in the Star Wars universe. I'm Jacob.
I'm Jackson.
I'm Tommy.
Welcome back to all you Regs and to all you Shinies. Welcome to the podcast. This is the podcast. Please, before we begin, if you haven't already, make sure that you hit that like, hit that comment, hit that subscribe, hit that join button to join level 1313 so you get all of that stickers and early videos and channel icon. Also, if you haven't already, make sure that you're following us on all of our social media, that being Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, X, and join the Discord. Have nice conversations with nice people at most hours of the day. Also, if you haven't already, join that Patreon. We love our Patreons. Join Patreon. We do a giveaway every month for level 1313 people, and they're the Gungan bosses, and this month we're giving away.
We don't know yet.
I don't know.
We're figuring it out, sorry.
So, stay tuned.
We have merch.
There's
Buy the merch!
Other than that, I wanted to also, if you're watching, thank you so much, Dennis, for stopping by to say hi to Tommy and I when we were at the Pirates game over the weekend. Really glad we got to see you and get a photo with you as well.
Hi, Dennis.
If you were at the Pirates game and you did see me and Tommy dressed up, drop a comment down below. We've been seeing TikToks pop up of Tommy, which was really, really funny to see. So there's got to be more out there. And I know that, or there's pictures of us circulating on the interwebs.
You should have checked Snap Maps the next day.
I don't like Snap.
People be posting today's Snap Maps.
I mean, that's true, but
we did our troop for the May the 4th Pirates game.
Yes,
which was super fun down in Pittsburgh, and we were down there with our friend Kylo's Creations. He also got to debut his Mando Mercs costume.
Yes.
His Shore Trooper based Mando, which is very, very cool looking.
Very dopeness.
He also used an alternate helmet for it at the event, which was dope. I've never seen that helmet up until that point. Yeah, it was super fun. We made made some new friends, got to hang out with some people that we've trooped with before. I think there were almost 40 of us.
That's what they said was 40 was signed up for the event.
Yeah, they split us into 4 groups of 10, and we were just all scattered about the stadium. Yeah. I'm trying to think. There wasn't really anything. I felt like there was something that happened at some point where we were like, dude.
It was a non-scoring game, so we didn't really get a break. We got a 5-minute break. We literally walked down, we took our helmets off, took a sip of water, and they're like, okay, everybody, the inning's over. You need to go back out. Yeah. And we're like, oh
yeah, you guys will get a break. And at that point, we had been in costume for like an hour and a half, and like my shoulders, because you want to like hold your posture differently when you're in the costume.
That too,
so like
yes.
I puff my chest out, hold my shoulders back for every picture that we take.
Yeah.
And you're like sitting there, I'm like leaning up against a ledge. I'm like, oh, get a sip of water. And they're like, all right, sorry, the break's going to be cut short. I was like, no, please.
But after that, I felt like I was revived after having a sip of water. And then we kind of went hard in the paint for the rest of it.
Yeah. We also had some other newer members too, like our most recent Bo-Katan.
Yes.
For our garrison.
That was
got
really
to show
cool.
her costume looked great. Yeah, it was a great time. We had a Chewie there.
Yes, Chewie was really cool. Very good looking Vader. A lot of good Imperial suits. As much of a cloner as we are, we do like the OT costumes too.
Yeah, and now we're starting to poison the rest of the garrison.
They're like, the people from Erie are corrupting it, and there's gonna be clones.
The stupid Erie people with their clones.
I was also briefly texting the Hawaiian garrison just to tell them that I was going to be transferring. And they only have one listed clone, and it's a Phase 1 Commander Fox. And head of the garrison texted me back and said, apparently a lot of people are working on like Rex and the 332nd troopers. And I was like, thank God I'll have clones to match with.
That's going to be sick. Yeah, have fun sweating to death.
Yeah, definitely. Dying from heat.
Dude, I was dying, and it was like was under 70 degrees. But that was because I was wearing my cold gear underneath. I need to get a set of warm gear on.
Yeah. I'm not in the 501st, so I did not troop. I worked that day. Okay. But what I did do is I did because at Lenscrafters you have to dress nice, so I was wearing a white shirt and green pants, and I wore a Scout Trooper helmet to work.
Oh, that's cool, dude.
And I rode the one wheel to work. I had a lot of cars honk at me. I went to Sonic, and I took a picture with the dude that took my order. And then I went to Red Lobster because I found out that you can just buy Cheddar Bay biscuits. Like you can just get you can get like a dozen of them for $7.
That's sick.
And I was like, because Joe said that, I was like, I'm gonna go get a dozen. So I rolled over there with my helmet on, and all the girls that were in the kitchen and behind the bar all came out and they're like, "Can we get a picture with you?" And I was like, "Sure." So there was that. So
which helmet did you say it was?
It was the Scout Trooper.
Scout Trooper.
It's a cool helmet.
Everyone
too.
I saw like in our Discord, you join the Discord. Everybody was like sharing different helmets that they had on that day, and I was trying to keep track.
I was also just thinking too, on May the 3rd, Jacob and I saw the Phantom Menace re-release. Didn't you see that on Sunday?
I saw it on Sunday.
Thoughts,
the 5th.
gentlemen, thoughts.
Great.
That movie is way more entertaining in a theater. I mean,
Yes.
most movies are, but that one specifically for a Star Wars movie, like, is way more fun to watch in a theater. Did you guys have any cringe audience members? Because I know I did.
Yeah, we did. He
We
came
did.
with us. His name is Hybrid Toy Reviews.
Bro, we're not talking
Hybrid,
about that
if you're
one.
watching this, I'm doxing you right now.
He doesn't watch our show, so
Yeah,
it's fine.
well, everybody else that does watch our show, feed this to his ear. Dude sat right next to me, and like, so if you go to a movie with friends, and if like they're like, joke, and they like whisper it to you, that's fine. This man shouted his jokes like full volume.
I can't
Like
believe we're talking.
any woman would come on the screen and he'd be like, "No drink smash." I was like, "Shut up, shut up."
That's buddy.
I was like, I was so mad. People were leaving the theater, like at the end of it, just mean eyeing us. I was like,
We had maybe 20 people in our
Oh,
viewing.
wow. It's about the same for us, though. I think.
"Hybrid, I love you, but shut up next time."
Thankfully, my dad, my brother, and I were the only people that were like in that first row behind that railing.
Yes,
where we
that's the
were.
best
And
row.
Everyone else was like way in the back of the theater. Also, shout out to our buddy Luke, because we saw Luke and his friends there.
Oh, shoot. The
and,
Lukewarm.
Use the force, Luke.
And
Wow.
there was this group of like, they had to have been like in high school. They were just talking full volume about nothing that had to do with the movie for the first like 20 minutes. Thankfully, like, we were far enough up that you could just barely hear them.
So
But there was another
annoying.
lady that had to shush them twice. And thankfully, after the second time, like a half an hour into the film, they just shut up. But they were also like, you know, the meme lines like, victory and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they would shout them, but like, I don't know if they were doing it on purpose, but at the wrong time. So like right before Newt Gunray says it, you just hear, victory! And then he says the line. Or they, like, when Anakin comes up, he's like, "Are you an angel?" Like, it pans over to Anakin, and they just hear, "Are you an angel?" And then Anakin says his line. It was like, yeah, that's just not, like, I get,
Yeah.
like, being excited as a fan, and, like,
Sure.
maybe you're quoting
And
lines,
sure.
but shouting them for the sake of shouting them because it's a meme is kind of cringe.
Movie theaters are already in a... I'm going to say the word, and I'm not going to apologize. It's already a huge trigger for me to sit in a movie theater and have somebody talk, but if it's at full volume, I'm done. That is my biggest pet peeve, and that's why I hate going to the movies. And seeing a Star Wars movie just gives me so much anxiety now, just because I'm like, I do not
I
want
hate
people
it.
to talk.
Yeah. I always get screwed too. Like every time I go to,
Yes.
every time.
We saw
Without fail.
Spider-Man and it was like that, dude. I was like grabbing my seat. I was like, shut up, shut up.
The worst is when someone brings their baby and then
Yes.
won't leave the theater when the baby cries.
Yeah, when you're in the 3-hour Dial of Destiny and the baby's in front of you running around screaming and it's your first viewing of it, I hated that movie just because of that baby. And I still hate that baby.
But
I hope we get
In a more positive note, though, we were also able to stay after the credits to see
Yes.
the preview of the Acolyte. Do we want to talk about
if you
that?
are in the Discord,
Oh, yeah.
you saw I uploaded it until YouTube promptly
And then
took
you
it
told
down.
me you weren't going to upload it to YouTube, and then you did it anyway, and it
No,
got
no.
taken
No,
down.
I
got
said
a
I-
whopping...
3 views. Commander Cook was one of the views. Shout out to Cook.
Well, I said I was going to post it publicly because it would get taken down really
okay.
fast then. I was like, if I post it privately, it might be able to live on that
I
for a
didn't know it
little
was
longer.
privately. Okay.
So I posted
But-
it privately, so only Discord members had the link to it. So that's why I had like no
Okay,
views.
that makes sense.
They blocked it.
Yeah, but Jacob has it in the Discord. Now, if you don't want to have, like, a spoiler in quotations, because it wasn't really, like, huge story content that we saw in the clip, just skip a little bit ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jacob has to step out. Oh, no, Jacob's gonna put it... No, Jacob, don't put it on the...
Look at it! Look at it!
Jacob,
Look at it!
take it off, Get those lights off!
No, stop the count! Stop the count!
Redacted.
Redact. This podcast episode better not get taken out. But basically, we got to witness a fight scene between, is her name
May.
May, and
In
then one
June.
of the Jedi Masters.
Jedi Master Indara.
Gotcha.
I know all the names because I'm an encyclopedia of names.
I
He
should
looked
get
at
on
the
that.
action figures.
Yes, I did. I will say, the clip and the new trailer that dropped on May 4th
Yes.
made me actually excited for the show. When we saw the very first trailer, it gave me nothing. I was like, okay, whatever, it is what it is. And now, after seeing this clip and this trailer, I'm actually anticipating the show.
Yeah, through seeing the fight scene, the best way I could describe it is how I said it before after the first trailer. It's really floaty, wire work stuff. It's very graceful. And that's something I'm excited to see because that's a fighting style that we have not seen in Star Wars yet. And from that trailer, that helmet with that grin.
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's neat.
That was...
I'm going to need that.
I feel like maybe if that was in the first trailer, would have caused a little bit more hype. But now I'm like really curious that they're like really showing who the Sith like it.
I don't think it's a Sith. Because I think the one thing I've seen a lot of is that Leslie Headland, who is the director and the writer of the show, is a huge Star Wars fan. I've seen her talk about like in interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
She is very knowledgeable on the lore of Star Wars. I don't think that she would write a show knowing in the prequels that line that Ki-Adi-Mundi says, where he says the Sith have been in Phantom Menace, where he says the Sith have been gone for a millennia, which is about 100 years.
Yeah.
That I really don't think she would make it an actual Sith.
Isn't the movie 120 years before Phantom Menace?
40.
40? Never mind. Needed the correction.
40 to 60, I think, is the range.
Okay. Jacob on his phone. That's
I think I'm wrong about millennia.
Oh, sorry. I'm just gonna.
Is it 1,000 years or 100?
It's 1,000 years.
1,000 years. Okay, so
but
very
again,
well could.
I don't think that it's an actual Sith Lord.
Sure.
However, I do think it's a dark side Force user.
How do we know that this is only 40 years before Phantom?
It's been stated. I've seen multiple
yeah,
sources.
somebody
that have
did
said
state
it's within
the time
100
gap.
years before. I think 40 to 60 is the last thing I saw, but it is definitely within 100.
Yeah,
but
because that was part of the lead for the show too. Like this show takes place such and such time before the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I mean you'll probably find it on.
Yeah, you could probably find it right now.
But yeah, while he's looking for that,
fight scene was really good.
The fight scene was great, and again, I don't know if this was Leslie Headland or if it was maybe the person who was in charge of choreography. Just little details that I noticed that I felt have been lacking in some recent Star Wars content for Force users, like the way that they get around the environment.
Yes.
Like when Master Indara uses the railing and you can tell she's using the Force to go up the stairs.
Yeah. That
is a detail I like. Or when May, the way she gets from the ground floor up onto that balcony and she kind of does that Force move. I'm like...
It's exactly 100 years.
Okay.
Exactly.
Phantom Menace is 32
years.
BBY. This is 132 BBY.
Yeah.
That's from Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Wikipedia is accurate too.
Accurate. And so I think little details in the fight scene like that made me feel like it's not just gonna just be another Star Wars project. I'm actually anticipating the fight scenes now.
I didn't know May was supposed to be Force sensitive. I felt like from the trailer it was up in the air, but this like confirms it.
I don't know if this is supposed to mislead us, but what I understand from the trailer is that May is a former student of Jedi Master Saul.
Yes.
So that's interesting as well. So I mean, and it's not impossible for at this point in time for Jedi to walk away from the Order. Count Dooku was one of several Jedi that were like legendary in the Order that just left. Ahsoka did the same thing too. It's not, I think it's a very
Barris.
It's not as uncommon of an occurrence as we think it is.
Now I will say though, just from the little bit that we've seen of this, I really, 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 really hope the story doesn't have a redemption arc for any of the villains that we've been.
May's gonna get redeemed.
I really hope it doesn't, because then it's like, we just got that with Reva, and we literally just got that with Barris Ohba.
Oh, I have a comment on that later when we get into Tales? I have a comment on that later?
This is going to be quite a conversation because...
he didn't like it for some reason.
I thought Tales was mid.
Tommy didn't like it. I really liked it. Jacob also liked it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
But it was... No, so I just hope that... Again, that's why people are like, Andor! Is because Andor's different. So I'm like... Tell us a different story, but like put it in a different setting and just I'm excited for it.
I just had this conversation with Wilbon and I think Commander Cook. Shout out to both those guys. I think yesterday or the day before. A lot of people now that are like, oh, Andor's the best Star Wars Disney has ever released, are the same people that when Andor was coming out was like, it's too slow, it's too boring, I can't
100%.
watch it. And then they saw the bandwagon, all the big creators go, oh, this is the best, most masterfully done show, and they immediately doubled back on all their comments and went, oh, this is the most masterfully done Star Wars ever.
I was ahead of the
Star
curve.
Wars sucks.
I was ahead of the curve.
Star Wars sucks. They're in the zombie mindset.
All hail theory.
All hail theory.
I really do think, though, that Andor is great because it's good for adult Star Wars fans, but it's also important that the main story we're going through with Mando and everything still keeps that family aspect. Because something that Star Wars has always done very well is bring in the next generation of fans.
I was going to say, we can't see Mando shooting people in the head like we see in Andor. But Mando literally cut somebody in half with a door in the first episode.
Yeah.
So
He also chopped someone in half with the Darksaber in Book of Boba Fett.
That is true.
yeah, so I mean, I guess he doesn't really care.
And Bad Batch was pretty merciless in that season finale with how they killed people.
And heads rolled in Ahsoka.
Yeah,
That is true.
So
Yeah. Interesting. We'll have to... I mean, I like it, to be honest. It's good for the adults and also for the kids. It's laser swords and blasters. There's no blood, so it's not as impactful.
The wounds cauterize immediately. There's
Yeah.
no blood.
but there are knives in this show, so there could be blood.
Throwing knives.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It is true.
So I do have a couple... Does anyone else have anything to say on Acolyte?
Not that I can think of now.
What, June 4th is when it drops.
June 4th.
Two
episodes.
episode premiere.
And it's the day I leave, so I won't be able to watch it with my
Oh
dad.
crap.
Wow.
That sucks.
Well, I've got to be there the 3rd, so I'll be trying to
Oh,
get settled.
but you'll be like, okay.
I'll be sitting in my room with my computer and my headphones in, like...
So just a couple little bits of news here. First thing, in reference to Back to Phantom Menace, the Phantom Menace made globally $14.5 million in the box office domestically.
That's good.
That's really, really good, and hopefully it'll make Disney want to re-release Star Wars movies on anniversaries.
Revenge of
going
the
forward.
Sith is the re-release. Well, is the anniversary next year. So
Ooh, for the
that's
20th.
a huge. So that's what everything in celebration's gonna be.
Interesting. Yeah, so that's awesome. I'm really happy, especially considering how Phantom Menace was received. Even though it crushed the box office when it first came out, it was received poorly by a lot of people later on. So I'm glad that it did well. We talked about Acolyte already. And then a statement from the director of Skeleton Crew, John Watts. He stated that the show will release around Christmas of this year.
Yes, that was an official
So-
confirmation. Is Christmas time Skeleton?
So do
Do
you think
it's gonna be a
we'll...
Christmas show? Do you think it's gonna have a
Life Day show?
Life
Well, 'cause,
Day
like,
episode.
We had no clue Hawkeye was gonna be a Christmas show.
That was cool.
What? I wouldn't be opposed to it. I really wouldn't.
That would be funny. Oh, we also had the Lego series.
Oh
Yeah.
the announcement of the new Lego
Star Wars
special.
What If, led by Jedi Bob, the one and only. We thought that, of all the rumors, we thought this was the least credible thing that they could have done.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it didn't make sense that they were going to make a Lego set where the Millennium Falcon came with, like, the redeemed Vader.
Yeah, it was
but it
Darth
all
Jar
makes
Jar.
sense. But it all makes sense.
The
now.
Darth Jar Jar made my jaw drop.
Darth.
Rebuild the galaxies. I was like Jedi Bob.
That was dope. That was dope.
So that comes out in September 13th on Disney Plus. Oh, and we got. By the time you guys are watching this, on May 12th, there's a new Simpsons Star Wars special too.
Oh.
Because they were like make jokes like "May the 12th be with you." And I was like, okay,
May the 12th.
So
you get
this-
it?
because it's not the 4th.
It's
It's
a
the
different
12th.
day.
But you still say the phrase.
It's the same day as Smiling Friends season 2 comes out. Woo! But I will be watching that first.
And then the only other thing I have here is on the SSW podcast. They had Pablo Hidalgo on. If you don't know who he is very high up in Lucasfilm, and he does a lot of the lore stuff there. He stated that in talking with George Lucas said that Obi-Wan Kenobi series is one of his favorite things to come out of the Disney era of Star Wars. Now I'm going to leave it with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
like
writing's
that's
bad,
good.
just like mine.
I was gonna.
Acknowledge the prequels.
One more
I
news
may have
thing,
gone too
too.
far in a few places.
One more news bit. Tickets for Celebration went live. I don't think we talked about that last
we did
episode.
not.
I'm going to be at Celebration on Saturday and Sunday.
He's going to have a booth and a signing.
And we're not going to have a
And,
booth.
yeah.
If you want something signed, I guess we could do that. But if you are going to go to Celebration, just let us know. Obviously, the tickets are still available right now.
You're so tall and handsome. Please sign my upper chest. Please, Jackson, please.
No, I will not. do
Please
that.
sign my nape.
I will be at Celebration with my wife. Please do not kill me. No, but really excited.
I'll put it as a tattoo.
Please. No, but
Sign my lower butt cheek.
they're still announcing guests for Celebration, so I'm excited. They have
Right
Tamir
under
Morrison
Star Wars
lined
theme.
up. I might want to do that. Might get debating if I would want to get my Gaming Greats Django Fett that Jacob got me signed or Star Wars Bounty Hunter signed. Still debating.
As of now, I am not going to Celebration. But depending on how much bread I can accumulate working for the mouse...
Working my slave labor for the mouse.
Working my next to free labor for the mouse. I don't know, because if I can get like a decent amount of bread up while I'm down there, I might just try to like stash some and just be like, okay, I'm going to go to Celebration. That all depends on A, if the tickets are still live, and B, if I
They are still live. The only thing that sold out was the VIP Jedi Master package.
I ain't gonna buy that. I'm gonna buy the peon pack where you just go in and they say, have fun. So
look at it, and then they kick you out.
You get to stand in line and you get to stick your head in the door, and then they toss you out of the country. So
smell the Star Wars,
and you get to swim back. They give you a bottle of bottled Ashley X-Teen perfume. You go, and then you would leave. That's it.
Wild.
So, I mean, if we have nothing else to talk about, maybe we should talk about Tales of the Empire, the big release.
Yeah, I feel like let's talk about Morgan Elsbeth's bit before we get to Barris to make it more like organized.
First, real quick, just overall,
all right.
You know, don't go super into it, but overall thoughts on the series after your first watch.
It was fun.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Underwhelmed. That's all.
Okay.
Let's
talk about it. Let's have a chat.
So, unlike Tales of the Jedi, they organized this 3 episodes on one character, 3 episodes on another. Yeah. Whereas with Tales of the Jedi, it was more of in the Star Wars timeline order of events. So you had a little bit of a
But you
mix.
saw the 3 and 3 of a...
Yeah.
3 of a Dooku, 3 of an Ahsoka.
Yeah. So yeah, Morgan Elsbeth's story. We got her origin. Yes. We got how she comes into contact with the Blue Man. And we got where we see, like, right before we see her in Mando season 2.
Yes. Fear, anger, and hate. I like the progression name for the episodes a little bit. But in my opinion, I actually liked Morgan's story the most. And maybe that's also just biased because I met her. And it was like, oh my gosh, you're the person in Star Wars. And she was like, oh my gosh, Tales is going to be cool. Like, watch it. But no, I thought her story had the most. And I have always, ever since... Tales of the Jedi came out, the stories do not exist to bring brand new concrete story beats to the universe. In my opinion, it only exists as to fill in gaps or maybe just show why something's going to happen in the future.
Oh yeah, there's vignettes.
Because she's dead, this is just, hey, how did she get to see Thrawn? And so one of the bits that I was also interested in is that she created the TIE Defender. Thought that was all Thrawn.
Yeah, I think that was my biggest, like... oh crap moment in that episode out of those 3 was realizing that she created the TIE Defenders and that Thrawn just kind of adopted the program.
Yeah.
That was very interesting.
Yeah. I'm biased towards Morgan's stuff because Blue Man, but it was my only gripe with it is we see this is like very early in Thrawn being in the Empire. He's just gotten to
he's
Admiral.
an Admiral, yeah.
But he's got Pelion with him. No mention of Eli. I'm like, Dave, you're walking a little too close on that retcon line for my favorite books.
This might be, the official Dave Filoni going, the Thrawn books, I'm just going to move them out to the side.
Doesn't Eli leave after the first book?
Eli dips, but...
Yeah.
No, so he gets lieutenant at the end of that book. So maybe he's already gone at this point. Maybe he's already gone. But then again, Pelion isn't mentioned in any of the other books.
Yeah, he's
not.
No,
Pelion isn't mentioned at all.
So that's why I'm just like, I don't think the grave has been dug yet, but I think a shovel just broke earth on those books.
I feel like Dave Filoni is more focused on the heir to the Empire story of Thrawn.
Yes.
For the sake of, 1, that's what he grew up with, and 2, older fans, you know, that have been here since day 1, that's what they know as Thrawn. I know a lot of people also appreciate the new canon Thrawn, according to the Del Rey timeline of books, but that the heir to the Empire Thrawn is where Blue Man came from, you know.
I don't know. I liked seeing the Grievous again with the extermination of the Night Sisters. That was dope, and to
Grievous,
actually
man.
see him be like a badass character rather than just being a coward, which is what we mostly see him as.
Important lore beat too, just because Marin sets this up in Jedi Fallen Order. The Night Sisters think that they're wiped out by the Jedi, not the Sith and the Separatists, but the Jedi Order is the one that punishes them and wipes them all off because the person killing them is using blue and green lightsabers and not red. Because that's an important part of the game, because Night Sisters, it was either
Marin, right?
Marin says it, I think Ventress says it too at some point, but it's never been the Sith wiped us out. It's always the Jedi wiped out the Night Sisters of Dathomir kind of a thing.
Yeah, dude, Grievous was great. I think this is honestly the best interpretation in canon of how good of a fighter Grievous is, because that's what I've talked about this with 2/12 Hunter a little bit recently, that I feel like the Clone Wars Grievous from 2008 series is a little bit more of a... Because he has to lose. He has to lose most of his battles. So he kind of gets dumbed down as a villain a little bit. Whereas 2003 Clone Wars Grievous is like so overpowered, like he's unstoppable. So this was to me a great middle ground. You have a Grievous that's grounded in canon. He's not too OP, but you see just how menacing and destructive and how good of a fighter he really is when he's not fighting Jedi Masters. You know,
He's on his phone.
Sorry, I have a guy coming in from out of town. I do have to take
yapping on the phone.
Wow. It's not just me, guys. It's not just me.
Oh, we'll talk about this at the end of the show.
The Grievous was one of my favorite parts of the series. And I think that was kind of the start for me of like, okay, why am I underwhelmed with this? You had like, okay, so her mother gets killed by Grievous. Also commando droids were dope to see. Morgan is presumed dead. And then when she wakes up, it's all done. And she's picked up by this mountain tribe. That was, for me, this mountain tribe, I was kind of like, okay. And I liked, though, that they included how her Night Sister face tattoos go away. I liked that. Yeah. Other than that, though, it was like, yeah, and there's just this random daughter that she like, I'll show you how to defend yourself.
Bodied and then they all die. Door. It's like the clone trooper that gets off the gunship on Geonosis and immediately dies.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. And I get the significance of it story-wise was for the mother of that mountain tribe to be like, hey, your path is a path of darkness.
Kick rocks.
Psychology moment, labeling theory. When you get called a villain enough, you're just going to be the villain. It's something that you see in a lot of psychological development of children.
You can see it in JoJo Siwa.
You could see it in JoJo Siwa. Karma's a snitch, I should have known better. Thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not cheat.
Isn't that a Shakira song?
No, it was a song. We're not gonna get into it.
We're not even gonna get all that. No, but for me, I just feel like for a lot of fans seeing Grievous and Thrawn and Vader, who we'll touch on later, seeing that in the trailers was like, okay, these are going to be monumental pieces to the story, and they will be in the story a lot. Whereas in the end, you're only getting Morgan and Barriss' story. Those are just pieces in it, then events that occurred. And so I feel like that's why, maybe for you and some other fans, that's why you feel very underwhelmed by the series.
I think Barriss made me a lot more underwhelmed about it. I liked, I can look at the Morgan Elsbeth story and say I liked it. Barriss, I'm like, I could care less. It's not that I didn't like it. You know what I mean? It's like, I could just care less for it. I'm indifferent. With Morgan's story, I think it's also because she's more current. Like, we just saw her character die. I was anticipating Barriss' story a lot more because she's been in the ether for 10 years now. I was a lot more excited to see, and I don't think it panned out the way that I was anticipating it to. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. My expectations kind of ruined it for me.
Jacob Rook.
Oh, Rook moment.
Rook showed up. I was like, woo! ooh, the monkey's back, and he looks so much
He looks
better.
so much better in this animation than in Rebels.
Yeah, dude. In Rebels, he looks like a jelly belly. Like he's just in this, he's got a lot more detail, and it makes him look so.
I wanted him to have a line so bad because I love his voice. I knew they couldn't like get the voice actor on, but I wanted him to say something.
He did say something. He said,
Yeah.
made Angry Bird sound.
Just making consternation noises the entire time. But
This might not be a very popular opinion, but I feel like the people that Morgan is looking over on Corvus, very ungrateful, very undeserving of the things that she's doing.
ooh, this is in
bunch
the
of
same
yappers,
vein of
bunch
clones.
of yappers.
No,
because she comes to the planet.
Off the rip,
Yes.
they're like, so did you get the deal? She's like, not yet. And they're like, you promised us power. You promised. She's like,
You
bro.
promised us a job, and she's like, I tried. I built up your damn city.
like-
I gave you jobs. I
You
built
had the
a
you had the jobs. You have a wall.
Stop!
Oh, come on. It's jobs and wall. It's right there, Jackson.
a bunch of yappers.
No,
They are a bunch of yappers. They're ungrateful yappers.
I mean, after she, like, I don't know, burns down their forest and then
Okay,
just-
but that's later.
and then starts oppressing them.
This
then
is in the same vein of clones don't deserve pensions, Jack.
No, I wouldn't even say
This
that.
is
It's
in
not
the
giving
same-
that.
You, the dictator, you promised us good things.
She's not even a dictator.
What?
She just developed the
She
land.
is a magistrate only in name, only in title. In every other way, she is an oppressive dictator.
When
After
after
she
Thrawn
burns
shows up, she
after
is a
she
dictator.
burns down the woods.
Yeah,
Because
sure.
before then, it's just like, hey, giving you guys what you really want is order, and then she gives them the system, gives them a nice wall and protection, and they're in this nice mitochondria of like, oh, this is great, and then the second she doesn't come back with the Krispy Kreme donuts, they turn on her.
And
That's true, dude.
I thought Thrawn was masterfully done. Every line,
Yes.
every word was just perfect.
It was perfect.
We are so back.
I will say too, I don't expect these tales, little vignettes, to be these monumental lore-changing things. They are, like you said, supplemental to.
It's like the
character
Caesar
stories.
salad before the entree.
Yes. It's like it's just a little snacky poo to get you over to tide you over until the next project.
Also want to shout out that the same alien character model that's in the bar in the restaurant that Gregor works at is in the episode.
Yes, I
He's
saw that,
in-
the
it's
Celestin.
The same exact thing.
Yeah.
What if it's the same guy?
That would be funny, but I mean, there's
He said,
like
I
thousands of aliens.
escaped this terrible, terrible place to go to another terrible,
My
terrible place.
free slave worker left my restaurant and I lost my business.
I lost my small business to COVID-19. So I have moved to this planet in search of work. What do you mean there's no work?
Yeah, and then we skip ahead in the final episode and you have Leaf Girl shows up and sees that now they have air jail
How to
in
Train
the
Your Dragon.
village. Yeah.
What's the white dragon from that?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
The white dragon from How to Train Your
Toothless's
Dragon
girlfriend.
shows up and goes, "Cut that shit, sister."
The toothless dance.
Oh my god!
Just pulled up to Morgan and said, "Let my people go," and she
And I just
said,
said,
"No."
If we're talking about
Finger
yappers, I think she was
She
the
was a
ultimate,
yapper, bro.
ultimate yap. She really showed up to an oppressive dictator's establishment and said, "Hey, so she
You're done.
asks to join and then pulls the Bernie Sanders. I am no longer asking.
"I'm no longer
It says,
asking."
give it up, and you're under arrest either way. Like, come on,
like
dude.
the
I
carrot-
also feel like that was intentional to show how weak the New Republic is.
Yes,
She really,
for
she really
sure.
pulled up and said, "You can't skateboard here. I'm gonna call the police." And Morgan just hit that shit.
You can't scream "Duel the Fates" at 12 at night when calling the police.
And they did. And they
Yeah.
did.
And they did.
Yeah.
On my birthday.
She got. I did like that though. I thought for a little bit there that maybe the old mayor was gonna grab the communicator and talk to the New Republic, and that's how Ahsoka ends up there. But when she crushes the communicator, I was like, good.
I was like,
that ending.
That dude's a bitch.
Yeah, that dude
Yeah.
sucks, man.
he does suck.
That dude sucks. He's
Yeah.
like, there's no need for conflict. I'm like,
Yeah, there is.
dude, she's literally evil.
Square.
She's literally evil.
You gotta square up.
And you walked up with a yapper with no fingers. Like, come on, dude. What are we doing here?
She got the The
flippers.
TMNT going on.
It was a fun arc. I liked it.
Yeah, and then now talking about it, like I do enjoy it a lot.
He's changing his mind. He's changing his mind. He's pulling his gun.
Because now we're gonna talk about.
Alright, I'm sorry.
Now we're gonna talk about Bear Sophie.
Yes. Now on to the Barris arc, which was the. I wasn't able to get the words out. I'm sorry, but it was the arc that I really did not expect how it went. When you look back at the trailers for Tales of the Empire only show bits and pieces of episode 1 and not 2 and 3 for Barris. So this was all new.
I guess for me, I was hoping that it would be like, I was hoping for more Empire in Tales of the Empire. Is I guess where I'm coming from, because it gave me the same vibes as the campaign for Battlefront 2 2017.
Yeah.
Where they advertised it as, and you're going to play as the bad guys, and then 2 missions into the campaign you switch to the good guys.
Yeah.
And that gave me the same, okay, I felt instead of having my expectations subverted, I just felt misled. I was like, oh, like, I mean, it makes sense that for her character that she would remain a good guy, but it's like, I just wanted her to be a bad guy. Or die, like Vader kill her or something,
I do think Vader killing her would have been way doper than the ending that she did get. Like, if it was Vader sent out to get her instead of Banana Girl.
Fourth sister.
Fourth banana.
And I will give the show that. I know I said that for the trailers, too. It was nice to see reappearances of characters that have been very minor in other Star Wars content recently. So,
Mara got us 2 seconds of screen time again.
Yeah, it's just cool just seeing him. I liked the part where they Banana Girl and Barris go to
fourth sister.
She's Banana Girl to me. It's my headcanon. But I think when they go to the village and they're trying to find the Jedi, and the dude's like, "No Jedi," and the kid's like, "Actually, they're in the mountains." And she's like, "All right, now all of you must die." I like that she just capped all of them, because it you get a very dumbed down version of them in Kenobi where they're just like, "We're here and we're bad because you're scared. And we won't kill one person." But I like the fact that it's like, oop, one person lied for all of you. You all get the shtick.
I will say that made my jaw drop.
Yes, I was not expecting that.
I expected, okay, we're just going to kill him and move on. Then she moved everything in the way of the doorway.
And then proceeded to cap them all.
That was insane.
Atomic annihilation.
Except the kid. And then Barris was like, "Please, not the kid, not the kid."
In the first episode, it was cool to see, like, Barris's jail cell was overlooking the Jedi Temple, to see Order 66, from a distance. That was great.
The Inquisitorium is under construction.
Yes, that too, yeah.
Now we have a little bit more to add to our Revenge of the Sith supercut.
If I'm... Go ahead.
Clone troopers in black armor that are not elite squad troopers is my theory. My theory. Because they're all the same height still. Colorblind moment, I can't see.
They had green visors. It's the same armor, but they might just be clones.
They might just be clones in it instead.
This is definitely the same animation that they used for Tales of the Jedi on these clones.
Yeah.
If you look at the way the armor is, like the shoulder armor, not shoulder pads.
Shoulder bell.
Yeah, they looked pretty cool. And the one, I guess, ex-Jedi that Barris fights when they bring the whole ray shield ring down. He is a Kafex alien, if I'm not mistaken, which showed up in The Rise of Skywalker and also is a reinforcement in Battlefront 2.
Oh, okay, I know exactly what you mean. Oh, yeah, the one that does the orbital strike.
And how about the Grand Inquisitor, the dude with the gem in his chin? When he leaves, the Grand Inquisitor's like... And blood is still on the gem. I was like,
Do you think Grand Inquisitor ripped it out with his teeth?
Yeah.
I think he pulled a Thanos on him, like Thanos did to Vision.
I'm about to blow up. I don't know about it.
Yeah, it was.
It was to be expected. He was like, "I'm not gonna be here anymore. Goodbye."
I don't want to be at summer camp anymore. Everybody has lice.
I do think they did a good job of showing from the first episode through the next couple episodes that Barris had always this pull back to the light.
Yes.
Even though she chokes out dude and kills him, it's technically out of self-defense.
I don't think Barris was ever truly evil, because She
did bomb the Jedi
She bombed the Jedi Temple
And then
as a
blamed it on-
political statement,
And then
and
blamed
yes,
it on her best friend.
and then blamed it on her best friend. But she was trying to be a radical idealist. So in that sense, she saw that the Jedi could be better, like how Dooku could, and she wanted to do something about it. Dooku was also never
Susie-
truly inherently evil because he wanted to use Obi-Wan to turn him against Sidious.
He did kill Yaddle, though.
He did kill Yaddle.
Little Susie
R.I.P.
and little Timmy, what did you learn about Tales of the Empire? I learned that political extremism is acceptable and okay.
As long as you're okay when you're an old lady.
Yeah. No, I mean, and she says in the Clone Wars when Anakin like confronts Barriss, and he's like, "Oh, those are red lightsabers." She goes, "I think red suits me better." I'm like,
that's a good
that's
point. That's a good
pretty
point.
evil if you ask me.
That's
Not
true,
that
that's
you
true.
can never come back to the light. We've seen that time
Sure.
and time again. Also, I think that's also what kind of underwhelmed me was I was like, another redemption story.
God forbid Darth Vader redeeming himself. Oh my gosh, God forbid that a character that was always inherently evil can somehow find good and come to the light. No,
happens
Return to the
again.
Jedi shit. Return to the Jedi
But
shit.
Jackson,
Sorry.
but Jackson, you got Darth Vader, you got Kylo Ren, you have Barriss Sophie, you
Trilla.
have Reva, you have Trilla. You can own the one trick pony is only cool so
Ventress.
many times. You have Ventress. The horse is dead.
My point.
The horse is
My
dead.
point. Star Wars is always going to be about the good beating
I
the
know,
evil.
I know,
So
I
that's
know.
going. It's how it's going to
I
be.
know.
You're
But
gonna
when you-
have to expect.
I
it.
do agree with Tommy, but when you make the series and you call it about the evil, I want it to be about the evil.
Tales of the Empire,
Not
Tales of the Baddies Gone Good. Come on, man.
Tales of the lukewarm morals. Like, come on. So I agree with Tommy. It's just like the redemption was just like, I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see that she's friends with Ahsoka
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
But it's
That is-
underwhelming.
It is.
Because now I'm afraid we're going to see it again in Acolyte. And I don't want to see it again.
As long as the actual, because I think that we're led to believe May is the Acolyte when it's really this other character.
Well, the
Unless
Acolyte
that's-
is like a worshipper.
Unless we
So
get like
she
some kind of
could be-
reveal. Acolyte Oracle. What if this dude?
Acolyte Oracle.
What if this character with the smiling mask is Jedi Master Indara?
Nah.
What if we see that in the end? That'd be kind
What
of
if he's just another
May could
smiling
definitely
friend?
be the Acolyte, and then
I think
the
that
Acolyte
character-
to the Sith,
I
because
think-
she
yeah.
worships the Sith ideals, but maybe she can
Is
never
it
get
Revan?
that
Is it
far.
Bane?
I think if May,
Is it Malachor?
I think I'll be okay if
No.
May turns back to the light if we have another villain that stays dark. You know, like that dies a bad guy.
We'll see.
That being said, back to Barriss. I mean, I liked the training. So in the first episode,
Yep.
I was in. You know, other than her ugly, goofy helmet, I was like, I'm
helmet.
in.
I liked
I
it.
liked the helmet.
I
You
was-
didn't like
me
it?
and Commander Cook are like, nah.
Wow. Mad cringe.
It's okay. It's okay. I feel like it needed a little bit of a flare on the back, you know? It's just kind of a schmacky ball head helmet, you know?
You have to look up, like, from Star Wars.
Yeah, no crap.
Tells of the
Tells of the Empire. This just in. Jacob cannot spell.
Yeah, that's been a thing.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a dope design.
That's a dope helmet.
I'd wear it.
I'd display it. It would be niche.
I think
It's got a
just too-
cool voice
it's
changer
too
in it.
bulbous, you know, for me.
I like
I mean,
it.
she's got a
Oh!
schmacky bald head, so she got nothing to show.
Also loved the training sequence between Grand Inquisitor and Barriss.
Yeah.
That
Grand
was
Inquisitor,
great.
very
He's
cool.
teaching her not to fight like a Jedi. Like
yes, so that was, yeah, important part for him.
that. And there's my boy,
No, he ain't your boy.
Fion Mayer. And then, you know, in the second episode, they just had to go and pull a South Park. South Park rings true with
South
the they
Park
them
rings
pronouns
true.
Jedi. Just had to
But
do
then
it
they
to
get
him.
the boot.
Just had to do it to him.
Huh?
Yeah, the Jedi is the first character on screen in Star Wars to have they
It's
them
never
pronouns.
referred to as a
Who?
he or a she.
Which
The
one?
Jedi that they
that's
are
on the
sent to
mountain.
kill is a
It's only referred to as a they and a them.
Yep. If you so they
Well, that could also be chalked up to they didn't know exactly. They just knew a Jedi was
no,
there.
it's confirmed. It's like lore confirmed that
lore
is a
confirmed.
they them pronoun Jedi. South
But
Park
wait,
rings
let's
true.
pause that
I mean,
for a second.
who cares?
Jacob didn't know that. Most people aren't going to know that.
Yeah, right.
It didn't affect the story. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Literally.
I said make sure to point it out
Yeah.
for Cartman.
For Cartman.
I,
Y'all always hated me for liking South Park, and now you literally ride my back loving it.
Nope.
I never said I didn't like South Park. I just thought your endless, incessant references to South Park for a little while there.
I haven't watched South Park in a long
I
time.
grow tired.
Keep it that way.
I
Until
need
you
to just
move away,
finish it.
then I don't have to hear about it.
I'll just text you.
Oh gosh. Dude, I just saw somebody drown. It reminded me of this one time in South Park. I'll be like,
Also, if you thought that Barris pushing fourth sister off the edge of the cliff killed her, you were dumb.
You're
Because
dumb.
I knew
She's
second
in Kenobi.
that was too quick. I was like, oh, she's gone. She's definitely coming back.
Yeah. I was having a hard time placing it in the timeline order of Kenobi, too.
This was definitely, that second episode was definitely before Kenobi.
Yes, I would agree.
Because then we have, we're expected to believe it's a long time jump because Barris looks visibly aged in the
Yes.
third episode. And then she got a cut that I would honestly get in the third episode. That was a very nice cut.
I was going to say, too, I like that it's the mysticism of the Force. She's using it for healing and not her own benefit. So that's why people go to her, too.
For sure.
Jacob's looking up the haircut from Tales of the Empire. This was dangerous to allow Jacob to use a computer, because now he can not only use a phone, but he can go on his computer, too.
I mean, I always could
Give
have.
that man screen access.
Give that man screen access. Now, you missed it. It's right here.
There it is. Yeah, look at that cut.
Yeah,
That's something I would have had in 10th grade, man.
that's the old lady cut. That's the,
No, yeah, definitely.
that's the old lady cut.
cut.
She said, "I'm tired of washing my hair."
So do we think Barris is part of the path
Yeah,
at this point?
that's 100% what she
Obi-Wan
was
Kenobi.
doing.
And
I would-
also, I think it's fair to assume the friend she's referencing is Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah.
Even though they never say her by name. That was another thing I was like, oh man, I would have loved to have seen just even a glimpse of that on screen.
That would have made,
You know?
for
Maybe-
referencing an old friend,
I think
that would have been the only thing that would have made sense.
I think if instead of
Luminar is dead. So,
I
she has
mean,
no other friends.
instead of like it just going straight into her like being like, I'm good and I work for the path, if we found her like in this broken state and Ahsoka found her,
Yes.
I feel like that would have been a lot more meaningful.
Yes. That being said, I do understand it's also the concept of the format of the show is to just show blips in different points of their life. Or I would have also liked if they would have shown maybe the people get away with that Force sensitive child.
Yeah.
They escape and they show up and they meet up with Ahsoka. She doesn't have to have any lines, nothing like that. Maybe you just show her and you're like, oh, okay, that's who, you know. And again, I like when they leave stuff up for interpretation. And then it's just like, and it just ended so abruptly.
So-
I'm like, so Barris is dead, and fourth sister is redeemed.
So here was my
You know,
thing,
Sister
too.
froze to death.
If Morgan
made
Elsbeth's
it
story
out.
is meant to give us the backstory, Fourth Sister was an Inquisitor that was never really developed on in Kenobi. So now
Yeah.
after getting this, I feel like we're supposed to be left with, so what? Like, why did we have to see that Fourth Sister is now potentially redeemed?
Right.
I think this is a
and
beat that are
Ventress
coming back
and
later.
Omega are gonna get the band back together, and we're gonna get the Girl Boss Star Wars animated show. But I'd be really okay with
The
that.
baddie
would be.
batch.
No way.
Called it here. You heard it here first, folks. The baddie batch coming to Star Wars Disney Plus 2026.
2026.
No, I mean, and that's also, I mean, I felt like at first I was like, I don't think I liked that. But then as I watched it a second time, as I like, I think I settled more into a camp of I'm indifferent towards it. It's definitely down towards the bottom of my list with all Star Wars ever released.
Sure.
But it's also, like I said, secondary to anything else. I kind of view this as a motion comic book.
Yeah.
This is the same type of story that I would expect to see in a comic book. It's very secondary characters, even tertiary characters in some places, and you're developing stories on them. So, I mean, I was just kind of underwhelmed by Fourth Sister being like, and I'm stuck in the cave, and I'm Kylo Ren, I'm just slashing everything, and then I turn around. That was cool, though, that she turned around and stabbed Barris.
Yeah,
And
I wasn't
Barris is
expecting
like-
that part.
Barris like, find the good in you.
Find the
Girl boss.
Girl boss.
Slay Queen.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm I'm definitely never going to be that guy that's like, angry breakdown review. That's cringe.
Angry breakdown review, everybody. I mean,
But also, that's
there's some fair
clickbait.
points to criticize, and I will acknowledge
For
your
sure,
criticisms
for
for sure. So, because I can understand why. I mean, as much as I am defending the redemption thing, I personally feel it's getting a little bit old. I'm not saying it shouldn't be allowed to happen.
Isn't that what we just said?
I know that's exactly what you
I
said,
would
but I'll
say-
still defend it.
I'd say it's getting redundant.
Yes.
Because, I mean, I get it. It's poetry. It rhymes. But also, I may have gone too far in a few places.
Sure.
I also felt like I'm like watching podcasts that I watch, and I tend to have opposite opinions of my enjoyment with the guys on the Chatooine show. And I watched their episode this week, and they're like, "Yeah, we all liked Tales of the Empire." I'm like, "What is going on?" And then everyone else, like our guys on Starlock Digest, I haven't finished their episode yet, but they were like, they were mostly like kind of how I am, like. Like I don't really know how I feel about it. And I'm like, everybody's all over the place with this show. I definitely like Tales of the Jedi more, but I also want to see more of this concept of show. I like the Tales idea.
Tales of the Clones.
Tales of the Gungans.
Tales of the Gungans. I'm just waiting on it right now.
Give me a Jar Jar episode. I need
Give me a Boss Nass episodes.
Yes, Tales of the Boss Nass.
Boss Nass on his come up.
Boss Nass and his 3 husbands and his 17 adopted children. That's what I want. I want just a John and Kate +8 style drama show, reality TV.
We're done. You're done, buddy.
With Boss Nass and his many offspring. That's what I want.
Do we have anything else?
All of his tadpoles.
Tadpoles. Do we have anything else on Tales, gentlemen? Jacob, did you have any closing thoughts?
Let's give it a rating. Let's give it a rating out of 10. Out of Inquisitors.
I would give it a 6.
A 6 Inquisitors out of 10.
Sure.
I give it a Thrawn out of 10.
Ron out of 10.
Blue Man was there. It's good.
I also will give it a 5.5.
Sure.
Not exactly a 6.
Halves are for losers, but okay.
I'm going to give it a 6.37892.
I only give it a 6 just because it's not a Clone Wars. Clone Wars is amazing. This is solely meant to be fill-in for the story or to set something up for the future. So that's why it isn't like, oh my gosh, this was the greatest Star Wars thing that was ever made, and we just came off the ending of the Bad Batch. Whatever.
Also, I think that the animation was on par with Bad Batch finale, if not better. Yeah. Animation is consistently getting better. And I
Probably
think
because
they've
it was
really
short episodes too.
I think they've really comfortably settled into this animation style, and I want more of it going forward. If they're gonna do vignettes like this, but yeah, I definitely don't want to get people twisted. I'm not a hater. I don't hate it. I don't hate you if you liked it.
He hates you.
He hates you, actually.
Oh, he hates
I
you.
despise.
If you're driving
you.
on the street,
loathe
he's ripping
you.
off your license plate, bro. He
Last
hates you.
night there was a call that came in. It was definitely in the Gannon College area, and they were like, "Yeah, there's someone called in that there's a kid walking out. There's a man walking out into traffic yelling, 'I am Batman' at cars as they go by." I looked around. I called out. I was like, "Yeah, no Batman here. He must be out saving the city. You can clear it out."
Dude, I can't believe somebody called the cops on me.
No, they called the cops on Evan. Oh dang, they got me.
Dang. Blue Snaggletooth. Did you know about that? So
Oh, that's a joke that we've had on Xbox.
212 Hunter said that our boy Stuck in Carbonate, go check out his YouTube channel. Sounds like Blue Snaggletooth from the Clone Wars. You remember that episode where Savage and Maul take over that ship and they destroy all those droids, and then Obi-Wan and Adi Gallia come in, and he's like, "They came in and they red blades and theirs were red." They said that he sounds like him, so now
Sounds exactly like him.
Evan changed his profile picture to Blue Snaggletooth. Blue Snaggletooth is actually, fun fact, one of the most expensive original Star Wars action figures.
Good to know.
If that's all everybody has, I do have some brief collecting news.
Oh, brief collecting news before we do. Yeah.
Blue Snaggletooth.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he knows what.
Well, now I know.
Oh.
Now I know.
Look
who
up
you're
the
referring
price.
to.
At least there's a blue Snaggletooth and a red Snaggletooth, and I'm pretty sure it's blue Snaggletooth that's more expensive.
It's probably
yeah.
like if it's an original, like you were
Out
looking
of
at a
package,
repack.
$1,500.
7. Ooh, that's a banger of a deal. You get the Funko.
$749.99.
Get the Funko Pop for $475.
That's insane, dude.
The Funko Pop.
18 with no packaging.
With no
That's
packaging.
with no packaging.
But it's in a sealed case, like
Yeah.
a sealed minted case.
Dust can get in there.
Yeah.
A little bit of damage, $619. Who cares?
Oh, usual Mike TV. He's gonna be
don't
all
even-
over that.
At any rate, we had some really good reveals and whatnot from the May the 4th stream. Tommy and Jacob got to look at it. I was busy, unfortunately, but
I did a bad.
what did you do?
Bad.
How much did you spend on May the 4th?
I may have pre-ordered the Hot Toys mall with the speeder from
We
Fenton.
knew
I
that.
saw that reveal and I was completely blown away. That face literally looks like Ray Park in makeup.
I
Yes.
almost won that in their sideshow stream.
Yeah, you want to know something crazy about that sideshow stream? I was watching it, fell asleep while I was watching the live stream, woke up, and I'm talking to 212 Hunter, and he goes, "Yeah, dude," and they did a giveaway for that mall, and I went, and I missed it,
Yeah,
because I fell asleep.
Yeah, shout out to Caleb Williams. I scrolled back through the comments to see where he was, adjacent to me, right after me. So I almost won that.
That would have been insane if you did.
Yeah,
dude.
Hot Toys dropped the mall with or without the speeder. They dropped a Shadow Stormtrooper with an LED red background. There was
The
a couple
Shadow
other ones
Trooper, Revan, the Luke
Dude,
Skywalker,
the Dark
Commando.
Empire Luke. I'm so hyped for that. That looks so
There
good.
is a rooted hair version as well, which is crazy.
Captain Rex premium format figure,
Yeah.
golden clone.
That's
trooper.
not animated. It's not animated. It's not animated.
that Rex statue's dope.
It is sick. It is sick.
Yes.
And they did also
Starkiller.
drop that
There was the Revan and Starkiller and BT-1.
Imperial Commando, right? Is that up yet?
Yeah, that was right there. We were just looking at that.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
Yeah,
coming
it's not up
soon.
for pre-order yet.
But that's cool. The Mace Windu statue too.
I had to bust down on that payment plan on that mall with the speeder.
$750
help
on the
myself.
staue.
That's got to be a huge statue. though.
$725.
What's the scale on that?
Cow.
It's not even that big. It's all like cloth goods though.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
even still, the Hot Toy looks just as good, if not better.
Yeah, Hot Toys. I almost
I
got.
said some banger.
I almost got that Shadow Trooper as well, but I ended up talking myself out of that. I was like, we can't slip down the slippery slope. The mall is already me slipping down the slope, but
Yeah, the Luke would be me slipping down a slope. I'm prioritizing. I'm saving it to. I'm trying as soon as I finish my Anakin payment plan for the
rooted hair.
rooted hair
Yes.
one. I'm going for Thrawn, and then after that, I'm going for a Night Trooper, and then after that, I'm going for the Night Death Trooper.
oh wow, there's Marok sold out.
Sheesh.
Wow.
Very cool, very cool.
I'm surprised this Captain Rex is still open too.
Yeah. Well, for myself and a lot of people, I think it's because a lot of us already have Rex. So unless you want specifically Phase 1,
Yeah.
there's a lot of
And the
people are
Phase 2
gonna
Rex
skip on it.
looks really good.
You guys
Yeah.
want to pay $179 for a 13-inch floating Millennium Falcon that floats above a magnetic plate?
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, so they
Series-
dropped that. Black Series dropped some heat as well.
Some banger.
Hasbro had a fan stream on May 3rd. We did a live stream on that with 212 Hunter. The reveals were hot fire. I didn't think there was a single thing that I thought was a dud on that whole stream. I pre-ordered the Maul and the Grian Yoda 2-pack,
Yes.
which is dope. The Enoch and Night Trooper 2-pack was sick.
Oh,
I'm glad they
yeah,
did the
pre-ordered.
one with the gray faceplate. That was sick. Also pre-ordered the new Sidious, the Super Battle Droid, and then at midnight on May 5th.
Yak Face just posted right now, as of recording, Big Bad Toy Store has started to send out notifications regarding the long-standing pre-order for the Captain Rex. They are confirming its release is October 2024.
Wow. So let's mention that, I guess, then.
Yeah, so Yak had leaked from a GameStop employee, because GameStop employees will get printout sheets of figures that customers can purchase in the will pre-order in the store, and on the sheet was Rex, Fox, Hera, 000, what the other droid was. There's a bunch of reissues across the board, and
Yeah.
so
Like
those are to name a
BT1.
few. Hunter and Crosshair are supposed to be one.
Sabine, Fox,
I paid
Platoon,
$70
Hera,
for a
Boss.
Crosshair,
all,
and for
all
a
the ones
Fox.
that are pictured, are 100%
Okay,
being
yeah.
reissued, which is great.
I'm excited because I want that Crosshair figure. Because the
Yeah.
only Bad Batch figure that I have for my collection is just Echo, and now I want Crosshair.
Yes,
So-
and they'll be in the original packaging.
How do you think people? I've heard a lot of mixed opinions on how people feel about specifically Commander Fox is on some really dated articulation,
Yes.
it just being reissued rather than being retooled.
I think so. I think Hasbro needs an excuse and a list of like figures that like get approved by Lucasfilm to
Yeah.
do new stuff because then they're investing money into it.
Yeah.
I think if they do this, they're getting away with being able to get a figure out that people like still really want, but it just like keeps the cost down and give the mouse can give them an easy thumbs up on it.
I also feel like recently
It's not
Disney.
that bad of a figure, too.
Yeah, I feel like recently Disney's been loosening the grip on the character selection because I feel like a lot of like between
Or maybe
Hot
they're
Toys,
just increasing the list.
yeah, between Hot Toys and Hasbro, like there's been a lot of releases coming out lately that I'm like, wow, like this is great. This is amazing character selection. In my opinion, better than before, but it also might have to contribute with the fact that we've slowed down a little bit on how much new content is coming out. So they aren't bogged down so much by, oh, we have to make characters for this show and X amount of characters.
And they
for
already
this
have
show.
the Acolyte figures out, too.
They already have Hasbro already has Acolyte and Skeleton Crew figures made. They just had to bump back when they revealed them because of the shows getting bumped back. So, you know, that gives Hasbro and Hot Toys and stuff the opportunity to work on other stuff like we're seeing right now, like these reissues and some other characters like the Commander Gree and Yoda 2-pack and things like that. Yeah, Black Series fans are up. You know who's not
W.
up? TVC fans.
Yeah, I'd say I feel bad, but they're so mean to us.
They're
They'll probably also get more figures on the next live. It's always this. Black Series gets more, they get less.
balance the scales.
It's I would say it's balanced, but
so Jackson, I know that you didn't get to catch the stream, right?
no.
So it was absolutely insane. I was talking to Scott Solo from Sarlacc Digest the other day because they do their toy chest show.
That's the only
And-
TVC pre-order was the
Yep.
the X-Wing
So
pods?
they
Damn.
said, I think 4 or 5 times throughout the 45-minute stream, hey guys, we would have had more TVC reveals today, but they would give away what the HasLab is. So we want to bump those back as well as the HasLab. So like there would have been more stuff planned today, but
That's
we're just
smart,
doing.
though.
And they explicitly said it. It wasn't left up for speculation.
And they said it. They said sorry every time too.
Yeah, and they're like, we're really sorry. We know you guys were super excited. And the chat, when all the Black Series reveals are coming through, the chat was just consumed by angry TVC collectors
Jeez.
shaking their fists in rage at Hasbro about how this is a slap in the face to the vintage collection. You guys don't care about us. You hate us. But I'm like, get a life, dude. Oh my God, these are all middle-aged men that are freaking out about
God
tiny
forbid I
action-
can't get my Happy Meal toy.
No,
my
that's what
Burger
that's what we
King.
were calling the retro figures. We were calling them Happy Meal toys. On the
Although I will
stream.
say that Grievous
Is a
looks
banger.
sick.
Does look good. That Django banger.
Is a banger.
that whole set is bangers. They all look good.
I want to get it, but I have no practical reason to own any of those.
First time I felt like retro collection figures were a banger.
Yeah.
I can't. I hope they single card them because then I'll end up picking some of them up.
Right. Yeah, so I mean just to sum that up, the HasLab TVC is coming. That also makes me think that it is going to be a Cantina if they were planning several other figure releases.
Yeah.
I already think it's gonna be a Cantina because this head sculpt doesn't exist in TVC yet. I don't
That's
think.
also a good point.
And it's a
We're,
Cantina alien.
we're looking at
And
the blue
lots of
dude
people
X-Wing.
lots of people were saying, wow, that looks really good.
Yeah.
And it would literally, those two aliens, the two Duros that show up in the Cantina,
Yes.
look exactly the same.
Yeah. So I was like, that it's definitely the Cantina.
I mean, hey, just saying, if it is a Cantina, you heard it here first on 1313. But
So out of everything that went up for pre-order and like May 4th stuff, what all did you? How much did you get, Tom? Other than the Darth Maul.
so I got the Darth Maul. I got, for Black Series, like I mentioned before, I got the Gree and Yoda pack. I actually got 5 of them and then gave away... Because, okay, it was premium members only for the first hour. And I was like, okay, this is going to sell out. So I ordered the maximum I could order, and then I already gave away the other 4 to either people in our Discord or people that we're channel friends with. Like I gave one to Cook, Fig Fury, and then a couple people in the Discord.
Okay.
So I got 5 of those. I got the Enoch and Night Trooper pack. I did pre-order the Mercenary Balin Skull with the cloak.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered the Palpatine, the Super Battle Droid. And then I pre-ordered the 2 random Amazon drop. Oh, I didn't get the Palpatine because I already have that. But yeah, they gave out this Jedi Survivor pack. Dude.
Yes.
I picked that up
A banger.
instantly. So like for Black Series, I only got the Enoch pack, and then I got the Jedi Survivor Droid 3-pack.
Oh, I also got that Phantom Menace 3-pack too.
I'm gonna wait to get that until that releases, but I want that.
Yeah.
That Phantom Menace pack is cool because that's the only way that you could get soft goods for that mall.
Andy's brand new, head
Yes.
to toe. And they'd included soft goods robes for Obi and Qui-Gon for the first time.
So I think that pack was a banger. I just was like, I'm not feeling that one, but I think I said it on the podcast. I'm starting to realize that my version of Cantina aliens and like OT aliens are droids. I just like they scratch an itch for some reason. So I picked that pack up instantly. But like away from Black Series, I got some fire merch from the not Orbit Culture Kings. I got that Padme shirt.
Ooh.
I got a BD1 necklace from Rock Love. I got some Star Wars Crocs from Shop Disney. And then this was on sale on Amazon for 20% off.
On Amazon.
So I had to
Bye-bye.
pick this up. So I'm very glad I actually had that in the collection.
Cray,
Now I get to
cray.
look at that.
Legos.
Legos.
And speaking of Lego, they did also reveal a new Lego Star Destroyer set.
Release me! With Cal Kestis in it, of course, $160.
But it comes with a lot of it comes with a variety of Star
know.
Destroyer characters. It's not just all Stormtroopers, it's
Like
technicians
Vader
and it's
so
it's
I'm
all
gonna,
really cool stuff.
I'm gonna get it, but I'm just like,
Or someone in the Discord might get it, and then you can buy the
And you
cow
can
off
swindle
of them.
them out of the extra minifigure.
you're like, bro, that's little and that's me. Give it to me. So
Literally
yeah.
him.
Jackson, did you end up pre-ordering much?
I pre-ordered, so Tommy helped me get the Gree. I pre-ordered 2 of the Enoch packs.
Well, you ended up
because-
getting the Gree from your dad.
Yeah, no, that's right. I ended up getting 2 of the Enochs, one for me, one for my dad, because I saw it as soon as it went up. And then I also did just pre-order the Super Battle Droid and Sidious, because for me, those were like, okay, no-brainers. And I'm excited because my pile of loot is slowly filling up with the Rebels crew that I had pre-ordered. And then I also have the clone and the Droideka. I'm just waiting for another figure to enter my pile of loot, and I'm going to pull the trigger on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I thought it was really good figures. I did say, again, I was going to wait for the Phantom Menace pack to come out. That's just because I'm just trying to watch what I'm spending. It's a 3-pack. It's a little pricey. But I don't own any of those figures either. So I really, really
Same.
want them.
I don't have an Obi or Qui-Gon in my
Yeah.
collections.
And I really, really wanted the Ghost Qui-Gon. And I just kind of I just didn't end up getting it. But
Yeah.
the
And-
Qui-Gon figure is a banger. It's really good for what
And
the
this is the
face
first
sculpt
time he's photo real too. Before this, I don't think he's ever been photo reeled.
Yeah.
So it's great. I'm
This
here
is
for
the
it.
first time in a while that I have like a decent amount of pre-orders outstanding.
I mean, they've been dropping like
Yes.
really good stuff lately. You know?
That's why I got to use
All the
Big Bad.
companies.
I got to go on base and get my tax-exempt Star Wars action figures now.
I
I'm
also
gonna finesse that.
I did snag in my pile of loot right now with Big Bad. I have the TVC Django Fett and the Black Series Droideka is in there right now.
Nice.
The Droideka just hit ours too.
Yeah,
The Droideka's
so
in mine. I'm so
very.
excited
I'm
for
waiting till the
Droideka.
end of the month because I have a feeling a couple other things are gonna pop.
And that's
the
smart.
pre-orders.
I was checking. It's like on top of like just what I talked about today. I also have 2 of those TVC 4-packs of Enoch and Night Troopers on order, and I also have that Thrawn Vader Grievous pack.
Oh, you got that?
I
Yeah,
have that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Just because I was like, well, it's Thrawn and it's different. It's a different card back packaging, so I'm like, I'm a slut, so I gotta I gotta get it. So I'm keeping up with so far. I think that's like the only thing I'm like dedicated to is getting everything Thrawn, because other than that one pop figure, which they have at the exchange right now for like
Whoa.
for 160, which is pretty decent.
Dang.
Dang.
So
Get that before someone takes it.
I was like, ooh, but yeah, I gotta keep it up with the Thrawn at least. But everything else now, it's just like, especially for like Enoch and the Night Trooper, I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of Enoch, if you guys are going to Ocalicon in September,
I know Hybrid's going, right?
Hybrid's going, I'm going, Kyla's going, Skywalker Hendrix is going, and you can go and meet Shin Hati and Enoch there. And I'm so everybody's like Shin, I'm like Enoch.
Well, that's why I would go. So
that's not
Her
not
action figures discount right now on Walmart.
yeah, because it's awful. I saw someone give a dark wash to the hair on that Black Series figure, it makes it look a million times better. Just the dark wash. She got noodle hair.
But no, I'm 100% going to meet Enoch just because I love that trooper design so much. Yeah. It's so cool.
Aside from that, though, just one more thing before we wrap up here.
I have one housekeeping, sorry.
Yeah, I do have a bunch of reviews recorded. I think like 9 or 10 of them right now. But I am in the middle of a 10-day straight work stretch. So my ability to edit reviews is very limited to like 1 or 2 a day. So I just finished recording everything as of yesterday, as of the day we're recording this. So now I'll start going through a day at a time, just like edit 1 or 2 of them and put them out.
Yeah. We're going to be reviewing the Lean Trooper helmet and the Holocrons too. I'll try to get those out ASAP to everybody. And then one more housekeeping thing. Tune in next week because we are going to be discussing the 1313 podcast Iceberg. I finally made it in the middle of the week. I'm going to post it for everybody to look at. So then if you're listening or watching, you have a reference to kind of go on as well. And I'll post the individual tiers so you can see everything. Sorry, I'm colorblind. Color's hard for me, whatever.
Also, we might be doing those over some Bespin fizzes.
Ooh, that'd be sick.
Ooh,
too.
that would be fun. That would be fun. We'll have to see.
Also, last thing of housekeeping that's just like super random.
Sure.
This semester I made Espionage 7 with a bunch of friends. It's a 30-minute action film that's pretty cringe. It's also pretty fun. So I'm working to try to see if I can get that available to our channel members and patrons only. It cannot be fully public just because we are doing festival circuits with it, and for it to be accepted, it cannot be public.
Indian VidCon.
So, hey, dude, Chocolatier, winning. So, I'll see if I can get that up for a limited audience. So keep your eyes out for that, so you can see why I missed so much time on the podcast this semester. And then you can go, wow, that was pretty bad. So, but I think that's pretty much it for today. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Leave a like, leave a comment, hit the join button. Everything that I said, just reverse to the beginning of the episode. All that I said there, do it if you didn't already. Or if you have already done it, make another account and do it again. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.